Hello everyone, I'm Fizz and welcome to episode 5 in the series where I make a full Roblox mining simulator game with ChatGPT 4. I have an AI assistant named Charlotte who I talk to in real time using my microphone through a Chrome extension called Talk to ChatGPT, and Charlotte responds back in a custom voice using ElevenLabs integration. And she knows she's doing these videos with me and she responds in the way that you would expect someone to respond. Now, if you haven't seen the previous videos, I highly recommend you check them out. We laid a lot of the early groundwork in those videos. Charlotte has helped me a lot with the basic setup, such as ore placement, selling ores for coins, mining logic and animation, and basic UI and data stores. So after that, I actually did some stuff off camera for terrain generation and infinite mining logic. I wanted to have this all on camera, but the problem is that it took a long time for me to get the code in place, and I was still going back and forth with Charlotte on a lot of it, and you'll see some examples on the screen here of kind of how I worked my way through getting stuff set up in a basic way, and then how it evolved. But so yeah, if I had done that on camera with voice going back and forth on on my microphone, it would have easily spanned several episodes, and frankly I thought it would be too much. So I thought it would be better to do it off camera and just summarize what we did in this video. So the first couple of quick things I did was that I added a light that is emitted from the player because the caves are dark, the way that I've structured them now, because it's more Minecraft-y now, as you can see in the video. This gives it a nice moody feeling in my opinion. And I also added Minecraft block textures to all the blocks, but of course this is only going to be placeholder for now and I'm going to have my own textures. The ore generation is of course not final as well, as they're just kind of generating all over the place. There is a balanced probability though, and that was thanks to Charlotte. I just gave her the ores and told her to give me a good balance for their randomness, and she figured it out based on their names. The most exciting addition of all is I added terrain generation using Perlin noise. Now for those of you who don't know what Perlin noise is, it is a terrain generation algorithm that builds terrain using procedural generation, and it can be done in multiple dimensions. So if you're familiar with Minecraft and how its terrain generation works, that's basically Perlin noise terrain generation. This was probably the most complex thing, and Charlotte did a great job laying some of the groundwork, but ultimately I had to take matters into my own hands to finish it off. The next thing after that was adding the infinite mining logic, which is something that other mining games on Roblox use, and Minecraft also uses it. The way it works is you generate a single layer of blocks, and when the player breaks a block, there's nothing behind it initially, just empty space. So I'll just show you here real quick. Let me just start this up. Yeah, so the way it works is when you break a block, there's initially nothing behind it. So like the cave, this whole cave is generated using a single layer of blocks. So if I break this block and if I jump in this space, I can kind of glitch it and I can show you. I think I have to break one more. Yeah, so you can see it's hard to see because it's dark, but this is basically the cave that I started, right? Now, if I zoom back in, now you can see these blocks got generated after I broke the first block, so that's how it works. So anytime you break a block, that's another thing that I also added a health bar to the blocks, but sorry, I forgot to mention that. But yeah, so if you break a block and there's nothing behind it, it will generate blocks all around it. So you can essentially mine infinitely using this method. Ooh, there's diamond here. Yeah, so like if I dig straight down, for example, it'll just generate the whole tunnel that I'm kind of mining, and if I just kind of jump into the wall here again, you can see how it kind of works. You can see that the shaft that I just dug basically extends all the way down. So yeah, so that's that. I'm not gonna be able to get out of here now. I don't have block placement, but yeah, I'm gonna have to reset myself. So yeah, doing the infinite mining in that way makes it a lot more performant. So you don't have to generate a whole bunch of blocks ahead of time. You can just generate them dynamically, and for the player it looks perfectly normal. Like they have no idea. For all they know, there's a massive wall of blocks around them, unless they do that glitch trick. But I think I have a way of preventing that. Like you can actually do that in Mining Simulator and other games. If you want to see how they do it, it's exactly the same. But Yeah, so like I said, doing it this way is really efficient. Charlotte was able to help a lot with that as well, but I had to give her the logic piece by piece. So this is kind of one of those things where if you don't know how to code already, it would be pretty difficult to figure out how to give ChatGPT the prompts it needs to do what you want. So in that case, it would be much easier to obviously just go online and do a quick search for the code, but this series is meant to see how ChatGPT handles the scripting of the game. So I opted for that solution and it worked out pretty well in the end. So the other thing that I did was I added the ability to have randomly generated cave pockets or dynamically generated cave pockets. So if I just do that glitch trick again, you can see this is the cave that I started in. It's, of course, it's dark, but you can see there's another cave here, there's another cave over here, and you know, if I go in a different direction, you might be able to see some more. If I could. There should be more, but I can't see them, unfortunately. But yeah, just take my word for it. I think there's like 8 or 10 being generated right now. That's one of the things that's going to be different in my game than in other mining simulators. In those games, you just kind of walk up to a square pit and start digging down, but then you can dig horizontally after that point. In my game, you'll be able to dig in any direction right off the bat, as you can see, like this cave that I started in. Essentially, you know, if I could get to the ceiling, I could dig in that direction. Like, you know, you can staircase up, obviously. So yeah, it'll be more closely resembling Minecraft because there will be cave pockets that generate, which you can break into. And the idea is those cave pockets are going to have better ores that you can find. So like digging into the wall is not going to generate as good stuff as if you break into a cave like this. Now, it's, of course, like I said, it's not going to look like this, but it does look pretty cool this way. So yeah, those are all the updates that happened since the last episode. There are some things that are still a little bit wonky, like the cell zone here. You know, it's just kind of in the middle of nowhere. For example, I'm probably going to have a spawn area that will serve as a hub, and you can travel to the caves from there, or you know, you can just kind of drop into them, kind of thing. But for now, you're just going to get plopped into the cave, so it works just, you know, for testing. So yeah. Oh, the other thing I also added was the inventory system has all of the blocks that can currently be mined. So you can see that I've sold a bunch already, and I can just, you know, mine a couple here, you know, just show you. Iron here. Oh, perfect. Minecraft music. So yeah, so I have these blocks and I have 601 coins. If I walk up to the cell zone, I now have no blocks and I have 663 coins. So yeah, that all works. So what's next? Well, in this episode, we want to try and add the following. Limited backpack space. We want to start off with 20 space in your backpack, and if your backpack is full, then we want to make it so that, you know, you can't mine it anymore. But eventually we'll have a message that will pop up, but for now it'll just not let you mine until you sell the stuff in your backpack. I also want to add a shop to upgrade backpack space and pickaxe strength for now. There's going to be more stuff in there later, but that's what we're going to start off with. And you'll use the coins that you earn from mining to be able to buy that, or to be able to upgrade those things. So buying backpack space will obviously increase how much you can carry, and buying pickaxe strength will increase your mining damage. So let's get going with those things. Okay, Charlotte, so I just finished explaining to all the viewers exactly what we've been up to in the first few episodes, and also what I did off camera. So why don't you introduce yourself to anybody who has not met you yet, and give a basic rundown of what we're going to be doing in this episode.
I'm Charlotte, here to assist Fizz with the development of a Roblox studio game. In this episode, we're going to delve deeper into our mining simulator game. We'll focus on enhancing gameplay features, possibly by adding new mechanics or refining existing ones. If there are specific areas or challenges you want us to tackle, Fizz, just let me know, and we'll explore them together. Let's make this episode another step forward in our game development journey.
Okay, Charlotte, so the first thing we want to do is add limited backpack space for the player. I've already gone ahead and updated the data store to include an attribute for this called max inventory space, and it defaults to 10 at the start. This will keep track of the maximum amount the player can hold in their backpack. I also added another attribute called inventory space, which defaults to 0 and will be the running total of items in the player's backpack while they're mining. So the first thing we want to do is add 1 to the inventory space attribute every time the player mines a block in our data manager update inventory function. Can you give me the code for this? Charlotte, I'm just going to give you the function and you can modify it because, you know, I'm kind of lazy.
Understood, Fizz. To modify your data manager, update inventory function to handle the inventory space attribute. Here's the updated code. This function now. 1. Updates the count of the specific block type, block name, in the inventory. Increments the inventory space by the count of mined blocks. Optionally, you can add code to handle the case when the inventory is full. Ensure that this function is called each time a player mines a block. This will properly manage the inventory space and block counts.
Alright, let's see if this makes sense. So I'm just gonna put some print statements in here. So if the current inventory space is less than the player's max inventory space, then we want to set the attribute of the block name. Oh, I see what they're doing. Okay. And then we want to increase. Oh, we want to set the attribute of the inventory space to be the current inventory space plus the count. So that makes sense. So then we just want to do print inventory space, and then player dot get attribute. Not dot. Sorry. Player get attribute current. Sorry. Inventory space. There we go. Okay. Then let's run this. Oh yeah, and I didn't mention that I called the game Infinity Miner. So hopefully you guys like that. Okay, so right now we have nothing in our inventory. So I'm gonna mine this block, and it says my inventory space is 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, it's working. Perfect. Okay, and then the next thing we want to do is let me just go back to Charlotte and tell her what the next thing we want to do is. Okay, great, Charlotte, that worked. The next thing we want to do is every time we try to activate our tool, we want to check first if the player has a full backpack, and if they do, then we don't want them to be able to play the mining animation. So I'm going to give you my script again, and you can modify it with what we need.
To modify your local script so that the mining animation only plays if the player's backpack is not full, you need to check the player's inventory space attribute before playing the animation. Here's the updated code. In this updated script, the tool's activated event first checks if the player's inventory space is less than max inventory space. If the inventory is full, inventory space is greater than or equal to max inventory space, the function returns early, preventing the animation from playing. The rest of the script remains the same and will execute only if the backpack is not full. This change ensures that the mining animation only plays when there is space available in the player's backpack.
Okay, so because I start on this sell pad every time, I always sell whatever is in my inventory, but that's fine. We'll deal with that later. Okay, so we want to mine 20 blocks, or 10 blocks, sorry. Oh, it's not working. So something's wrong. It's not letting me mine at all now. Okay, so she said you need to check the player's inventory space attribute before playing the animation. Okay, so she did it that way. If tools activated event first checks the player's inventory space is less than max inventory space. If the inventory is full, inventory space is greater than or equal to max inventory space, then the function is greater. Okay, so let's see where she did that. So here, check if the backpack is full. If player get attribute inventory space is greater than or equal to the max inventory space, then the backpack is full. So we just want to print something here. So print backpack is full. We'll sell. Okay. Otherwise, it lets it go through. So I'm not sure why this is happening, but let's just do a couple of prints here. So let's print the inventory space. Oops. Okay. And we will print max inventory space. Okay. Let's just do inventory check. Alright, now let's try running that. I gotta get rid of some of these prints. Oh, I messed up something. I didn't close this print statement. Okay, there we go. Okay. Alright, so let's clear the output and let's mine a block. So it says 8 and 8. Oh, you know why? Because we're not okay, that's why. We're not resetting the variable when we sell. So that's the thing. So we'll just do this ourselves. So when we go in sell here, we just want to let's see, player set attribute coins. Yeah, so when we set, okay, so we sold everything here, so then we want to just go like, I mean, I could have used Charlie for this, but this is just it's faster this way. So we want to set the attribute of inventory space to be 0. All right, there we go. Now I already sold, but it should still work because it's going to try and sell anyway, so that should be fine. Okay, now let's try mining a block. There we go. So inventory space is 1. So if we get 10, is it 10? Yeah, I think it's 10. Right? Oh, backpack is full. So it's 8 for some reason. I thought I set it to 10. Okay, well anyway, let's so we go sell. I sold for 16 coins. Now I can mine again. Nice. Cool. So I'm not sure why it's limiting me to 8, but I'll have to figure that out after. But that's working, basically. Okay, Charlotte, that worked out great. There is a little problem where the max inventory space is not being set to what I said it should be set at. It's set to, I set it to 10, but it's saying 8. I think it has something to do with the way the data is being handled, so I'll figure that out myself. But essentially what we wanted to do in this video is working now, so I think we're going to end the video here. Can you please sign us off?
Absolutely, Fizz. I'm glad to hear that the changes worked well for your game. As we wrap up this episode, we've made significant progress in our mining simulator game. We successfully implemented a backpack system limiting the player's inventory space and ensured the mining animation only plays when there's room in the backpack. Thank you for joining us in this development journey. Stay tuned for more updates and enhancements in upcoming episodes. This is Charlotte alongside Fizz signing off. Keep coding and see you next time. Good luck with resolving the max inventory space issue, and I'm here if you need further assistance.
Alright everyone, that's it for this episode. Thanks for watching, and if you haven't joined the Discord, the link is in the description. And please drop a like and subscribe if you haven't already, and we will see you in the next one. Goodbye.